Hello, everybody, and welcome back to NCAA 2004. We are here, the number 2 team in the country, that is, looking to close our out-of-conference schedule against the SMU Mustangs. So another pretty easy out-of-conference schedule, but SMU is the most formidable of the 3 teams that we played between Army and Buffalo. So this one not going to be as much of a cakewalk as I guess the other 2 were, but they should still be a fair cakewalk. They should still, at the very least, be a cakewalk. So we are already surging to the top of a lot of ranks in all of FBS, most probably through the passing game, because that's what we do effectively. Running has been a bit of an issue so far this season, which has been kind of concerning. That number is a little bit lower than I would like it to be at. I know passing is probably going to be our bread and butter. Hell, that's what it was last year. But still, we got to be able to run pretty well. We still have Lamont Farrell, who's a over 90 overall running back. So, if the run game kind of curtails and nosedives, that's not a good look as we look to repeat our success from last year. So, do I think we can do it? I don't know, actually. I think the team... The thing I wanted to point out for the offseason video was that on offense, we seem to have gotten quite a bit younger. So we have a lot of sophomores and juniors on our offense, which I think is going to take us a step back, I think, in this season. But on defense, we do have a ton of returning seniors and juniors. So we have all the age kind of left on our defense, and the offense is really what got a lot younger in the offseason. So maybe next season our offense will be just unstoppable, like completely, but then we'll have to fix our defense. But I'd much rather rely on a high-powered offense than a strong defense. So if we can outscore opponents, I think that'd be a good brand of SEC football. We're not trying to play Big Ten football that's heavily defensive-minded, but SMU's trying to play a winning brand of football as that completion gets them well into Crimson Tide territory. And now the Mustang offense is moving, but on a 3rd and 8, our defense is trying to hold them as much as we physically can here early on in this football game. As their quarterback taking forever to snap the ball, jeez. He drops back here, he's got plenty of open space, dumps one down the middle of the field, and a triple coverage just kind of finds that open space between the safeties, Rick Sloan and David Ford, and just kind of drops it into that bucket there. Kind of a really nice throw, honestly, because David Ford was there, but he wasn't really on him, you know what I mean? He wasn't really prepared to make a play on the ball, so a very nice play for the Mustangs, and SMU strikes first. We're trailing, so 7-0 here. Tim Lewis on the run, pressure's on, but he gets rid of it quickly, and he finds Scott Mitchell here, the freshman recruit. He hauls this one in after running for his life. Now, we saw in the Army game, Tim Lewis showing the legs a little bit, extending plays here, and kind of getting away from pressure, so I think that seems to be his biggest strength so far right now. So, 1st and 10 here from about midfield. Tim Lewis again under some pressure, has to move around in the pocket, but he dumps it off quick to Chad Whitaker, who's got the catch real quickly here for a nice first down, and he gets out of bounds, avoiding some unnecessary tackles, some collision. So on another first down here, Tim Lewis drops back, steps up in the pocket, and fires across the middle, and I believe it's Carroll who we found. DeJean Carroll across the middle, running a crossing route here, and he gets it and turns upfield for a nice little chunk play. So now goal to go here, but it's a long goal to go from about the Mustang 10. So we're going to send a tight end in motion. We have an extra tight end on the field here, but we're not going to run it. Pressure is on to Tim Lewis, and he can't avoid it here. Looks like Lamont Farrell maybe was supposed to get up there, maybe block the linebacker there, but I don't know what happened. It was a complete mistake. But on 3rd and goal, Tim Lewis fires one to the end zone and just overshoots his man who was covered in about double coverage, I think. So, yeah, it looks like it was Chad Whitaker in double coverage. Overshoots it out of the end zone, so we're going to have to bring up Marion Ferguson, our beloved kicker, our wonderful kicker. I think in his last season, Marion Ferguson's a senior, so we got to get the most out of him because starting new kickers is a nightmare, believe me. So 3-7 is your score, but we do stop SMU. So on offense again, Tim Lewis again, pocket collapsing, has to make a decision quick, and he finds Chad Whitaker along the sideline inside the 20 or 15-yard line, and so it's another fresh set of downs for the Crimson Tide. But again, it's another long goal-to-go situation. Tim Lewis dumps this one off across the middle. I believe that Chad Whitaker, again, or no, it's Scott Mitchell. So Scott Mitchell gets another reception in this game. Can't quite get in the end zone. So on 2nd and goal, looks like Tim Lewis maybe tried to keep it himself and didn't really go much of anywhere. Quarterback sneaks from about 3 or 4 yards out. Not going to work in this game, buddy. I'm sorry. No 4-yard tush-push in this game. So on 3rd and goal, Tim Lewis going to try and throw for it again. Has to try and run and evade the pocket. Floats this one out. Kind of a goal line fade. I guess the closest thing to a goal line fade we're probably going to see in NCAA 2004. But it is caught for the touchdown. And I think that was Scott Mitchell again, if we can get a closer look at the receiver. And it's not. It's Lamont Farrell, the running back. So out of the backfield, Lamont Farrell running a route here and gets a nice pickup and gets a nice little touchdown, so it's a nice reception. So we do take the lead over SMU, but SMU's offense is not going to be completely silenced as they get a humongous gain on the ground. Their running back was absolutely feasting on our secondary, man. Got to that second level and just kept going, spinning around, and he gets them close to the 30-yard line. So SMU's offense continuing to move here. The quarterback's going to fire one out to the right side of the field, and again in double coverage, multiple guys out there in coverage, and just cannot seem to bring down this tight end as he was able to get another reception here to get SMU in the red zone. So quarterback drops back. Pressure's coming off the edge here. He gets rid of it quickly across the middle, and it's another nice pickup as SMU is going to be set up goal to go inside the 5. So SMU's offense moving a little bit easier on the drives where they have scored or threatening to score. They have moved the ball rather easily on our defense. So I was just giving our defense praise, and it doesn't seem to be holding up that well against a whack opponent. So on the next play here, it's going to be a handoff, and SMU is going to get into the end zone for a touchdown. So SMU is going to retake the lead here late in this first half, and I normally edit in the little end of quarter things. I guess I just forgot to do it for the first quarter, so we are in the second quarter. But back on offense now. Tim Lewis wants a deep shot downfield, and of course, when you got guys like that downfield, why wouldn't you? And there you see Lamont Farrell running a route. Dude, he's kind of like a Jahmyr Gibbs, right? He's just running those routes out of the backfield, kind of distracting the linebackers, but also disruptive on the ground. I like that. Speaking of disruptive on the ground here, Lamont Farrell getting to the outside edge, and there's no one who's going to catch him. It's a foot race to the corner of the end zone, and he gets into the end zone for a touchdown. So worried about the running game here, but it does at least show itself in this game. So I will take this rushing touchdown. It's a very nice one, about 25 yards to the house. Lamont Farrell here relies on the legs and gets into the end zone. So we're going to retake the lead over the Mustangs here, put it back to a 3-point game. So on a 4th and 1, we got to extend the drive here and get some points before half if we can. We were able to stop SMU and get the ball back, so got to extend it here on offense, and a wide open throw to Sean Watson. No one is back there. They were completely expecting the run, a short run up front here, and our play calling was absolutely brilliant. Whoever the OC is here, he just dialed up some absolute surgical work right here, getting Sean Watts completely open on the right side of the field, on the complete opposite side of the field where the play was, and getting into the end zone. Brilliant play. Everything about that, just, woo, that's what college football's about. That's what football's about, just being able to spot that stuff out. So that huge touchdown gives us a 10-point lead over the Mustangs heading into halftime. And now with the football again, we have a chance to further extend that lead as Tim Lewis lobs that one over a few defenders and is able to get that to DeJon Carroll for a nice, huge pickup. And Tim Lewis, man, look at those numbers. He is just, in one half of football, he is just absolutely dialing things up. So 3rd and 5, SMU's defense has shown a little bit of resilience here, but Tim Lewis, plenty of time in the pocket. And across the middle, that one almost intercepted. That was a dangerous ball. There was a linebacker perfectly in position, but DeJon Carroll able to get his hands on that and haul that one in. And look at that, all 3 top guys with 4 receptions and a good heaping of yards. So 1st and 10 now. Tim Lewis drops back here, plenty of time, dumps this one off to the end zone, and DeJon Carroll was completely wide open. No one was even covering him. He was in the hole of the zone that they were playing there. I guess no one had a shallow zone right there. So Tim Lewis able to spot that, find that, and get the ball out to DeJon Carroll. And that drive was pretty much all Carroll and all Lewis, man. Just those 2 guys completely connected, locked in there. So 31-14 is your score. Tim Lewis now with the football again and dumps this one off to Chad Whitaker across the middle of the field. Or actually, no, it's a number 87. It's unknown 87. He's not unknown. I just got to go back to the depth chart and get his name down on my sheet. But 3rd and 10 now as SMU's defense really trying to keep this game manageable, and they managed to do it, as I'm not sure who Lewis was going to. There might have been a receiver just behind this DB. I didn't see it, but either way, we're going to bring up Marion Ferguson on a 4th and 10. This is a long one, man, an absolute long kick to expect out of Marion Ferguson, and he doinks it, so he did have the leg for it, but he does doink it, so that one's not going to be good. The score is going to remain 31-14 after the 3rd quarter, as we were unable to further extend our lead here, but SMU not in the best of situations. You're heading into the 4th quarter. They're going to need some points, and on a 4th and 8, it's desperation mode. Essentially, even though we had the entire quarter left, still a 4th and 8 here. If you can't get some points, you might as well just kind of pack it away. But they do get a humongous reception to get them down on the 1s, so they do pick up the 4th and 8, and not just the 4th and 8, but it looks like they're going to be in position here to get at least 6. So First and goal for the Mustangs now, set to go, and they're just going to hand it off, and they're going to get the touchdown. So there you go, man. Like I said earlier, on the drives in which SMU was threatening to score, they moved the ball scarily easily, like very scarily easily. So SMU in this game is still like a group of 5 team. So like this is concerning to be in this kind of trouble here with the Mustangs. But it's still a 10-point game here, and on that batted ball, I think it's Cecil Randolph who was able to tip it to himself and get the interception, and it is. So he gets the pick, and that's a huge turnover for this offense as we're able to pretty much kill some time here and play keep away. Tim Lewis on the run again evades pressure, and he finds an open man downfield, and it's Chad Whitaker inside the 20. So there, I was praising Tim Lewis for being able to run around and kind of extend plays, and he does it again right there, man. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love that kind of athleticism from your quarterback. So 1st and 10 now for the Crimson Tide offense. We're pretty much in the driver's seat. I mean, a field goal would kind of do us well, but hey, why not? If you can get an extra touchdown, go for it. I guess Sick Navy wanted to win this game on offense and leave absolutely no doubt and get this one out to one of the few offensive skill players who have not had a touchdown yet in this game. So that's going to pretty much do it here. SMU would add another touchdown to get the lead back to 10 points, but by that time, there wouldn't be really any time for SMU to launch some sort of comeback here, down 2 possessions. So we're going to hold on to our 38-point showing. 38 points is going to give us enough for the win. So it felt a little bit more dangerous to me here sitting commentating than it really was, because I guess the game was we were never really in danger of losing, but it's not like SMU was ever gone. Like SMU definitely hung around for a little bit, so hung around more than probably they should have. And again, running the football wasn't as effective here. We ran the ball about as well as SMU did. We were just as bad on 3rd down as well. We had a couple bad sacks that I edited out as well. We had one more red zone opportunity than they did. That might have been the deciding factor here, and pointage so much. The turnover differential is just about the same as well. So pretty even game from a lot of different metrics here. SMU played a pretty decent game against a team that has national championship aspirations. So SMU's a decent team around this time, but still, you know what I mean? Like, we should be a whole lot better than SMU is. So Tim Lewis still has a great game. Because of the sack numbers, the rushing looked a lot worse. Lamont Farrell actually had a decent game with 60 yards. Chad Whitaker and DeJon Carroll absolutely leading the receiving corps, a huge class of the receiving corps. And then the offensive line was also feasting on SMU's defensive line. David Ford leading the team defensively in a great way. George Leon gets himself a sack as well. Marion Ferguson had that doink, so that's, kind of the thing here. But coming back to the Hub World, we're not going to sim any extra weeks, so we're going to get right into the SEC schedule, the thick of it, with Arkansas, number 8 Arkansas. And we know that this is one of the biggest games on our schedule. This could essentially make or break our season right here. If we lose this game, we might not have enough time to recoup from losing this game. So we really need to beat the Razorbacks again. We're back in home in Tuscaloosa, so we need to pick up this win desperately against Arkansas. So I hope to see you guys back in Tuscaloosa when we take on the Razorbacks.